Welcome everybody to the Sports Lounge. Hey, it is here. What is today? It is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here to talk about the NBA Finals over Games One and Game Two. Actually, currently going on right now. We have Game Three with OKC and Indiana going on right now. Just finished up the first quarter a few minutes ago. But first off, hey, let's get into our sponsors. And I want to give a quick shout out to each one of them. Of course, we have number one sports fan who takes care of all of our merchandise needs when it comes to sports memorabilia, whether it's hats, shirts, sweatshirts, whatever you need. Go hit up number one sports fan in Los Angeles, Tulare, Visalia, and Hanford. Um, and then next, of course, we have Cali Built Graphics, who takes care of all of our shirts needs. Of course, you see both Dupree and myself rocking the Sports Lounge polos. We also have decals that are actually supposed to be here, ready here pretty soon. And of course, last but not least, we have Brian Martino Construction. Hit up Brian Martino at Brian Martino Construction at gmail.com for any of your estimates. Mention the Sports Lounge Media and any job over $10,000. He will give you $1,000 off. And of course, the Sports Lounge Media is not able to happen if we were not powered by the Mogul brand and Diamond Collection, where you hit them up and get all your water needs that are needed right there from the Diamond Collection at poweredbytmb.com. Mention the Sports Lounge, put the promo code in, and you'll get 20% off your order right there. So we want to thank each one of you guys. Of course, we want to thank the Mogul and Diamond Collection for all they're doing for us. But hey, let's get into the show. And Dice, how you doing this week, brother?
I'm pretty good, man. It's been a long week. We're getting through it.
Yeah. How's the heat out there in where you're at?
Oof. I won't talk about it.
Is it
We're at
miserable? I know.
109.
Yeah, no, I can say it's miserable here, but I'm just like, I'm already over this summer thing. I can't stand summer.
It's too much
Um,
over here.
yeah, but no, hey, so here, let's first off, before we get into the NBA recap with games one and two, actually, they were just talking today. I want to make this little announcement. The NBA has, or everyone knows that the NBA is planning on expanding to 32 teams. It has been announced that the two teams that are supposed to be out there are going to be in Las Vegas and in Seattle. They are saying they're going to bring back the Seattle Supersonics and also bring and start an expansion team right there in Vegas to play right there at T-Mobile Arena. Correct? That's what you guys have out there.
Arena, and I believe probably may play some games at Mandalay Bay's location as well.
Okay, so there it is right there. So don't know what they're going to be called. I mean, I'm just going to toss it out there. To me, if I'm going to call them something, I would be like, Las Vegas Spades. I mean, you already got the Vegas Aces.
Yeah, I said the Spades or share the Aces name. They said the Jackpots, but I don't know if they're going to keep that name because I'm kind of like, yeah.
Nah. I think you got to go with something along, or I mean, clubs just sounds funny. Las Vegas Diamonds. No. If anything, they should have named,
The
the
Gamblers.
WNBA, huh?
The Gamblers.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But they're going to come up with something, that's for sure. And it's going to be interesting because we know where people are going to pack out there in Vegas. Even when you go to the WNBA game to watch the Aces play, no matter what, anytime you're in Vegas, they always have some amazing games going on, and everyone loves to gamble. So you might as well coincide with all of it. We know athletics are going to be having their stadium here in the next few years. I want to say they got 3 years. So if you want to see any sport, just go to Vegas.
Parlays.
Yeah. So so we got that right there. But hey, let's toss in this NBA game one. So game one, we had Indiana and OKC. It was 111-110 on that infamous buzzer beater by Tyrese Halliburton. What you were able to watch that one? What did you get from that one? Besides that buzzer beater.
Besides that buzzer beater, they kept it really close in that game throughout. And once the second half came up, OKC didn't know what to do with it. They just kept scoring on them, and then it got to that last bit. Because I was watching the game at first for a little bit, and it seems like OKC was going to come up with it, but then later on, that buzzer beater happened, and they couldn't stop them within when I saw the highlights.
Yeah. So down south actually it said OKC is going to be in 6.
Hmm.
Um, of course, he's like it's all about the money, and he's saying Las Vegas parlays.
I don't know about that one either.
Yeah,
Put it in chat. Put it in chat,
that,
guys.
that, that
What
would
do
be
you
an
want?
interesting one. That'd be an interesting one for a team name. I
What do you want
still
Las
think,
Vegas name to be?
I still say you got to go with, I would say probably the spades coincide with them. That'd be pretty cool.
Hmm.
Las Vegas Blackjacks. I don't know. I mean, I'm horrible. I'm old fashioned, so I wouldn't know what to expect. Um, but no, so yeah, that game right there, that Halliburton jumper that they hit to win it, that was pretty amazing in itself. Um, to do what they did, OKC has had the best record in the NBA, and for them they lost a couple games this year. They lost the overall series to Indiana during the regular season.
Right.
So this just shows like, hey, you have a team that can be beaten, and you're playing against them in the NBA Finals. Game 2 was a whole different story. SGA had 38 points in game 1, but nobody else could do anything, realistically. But in game 2 came around, OKC ended up winning that one 123-107, which tied the series. SGA had 34 points. He's still showing up with his MVP type play. But the big thing that they had, I mean, they were up by 6 in the first quarter, but then all of a sudden they hit a 12-point swing at halftime to go into halftime leading by 18. When you looked at the overall, watching the rest of that game, that second half, it was dead even, but they just struggled in that first half of that game. And so for me, that's what was obviously the deciding factor.
Right.
Halliburton had 17 in that game, was able to spread the ball, but they just couldn't get what needed to be done. As of right now, though, in game 3, actually up to date is the Pacers are winning right now in the second with 8 minutes left. They're up by 3 points.
I got it tied now, 36, 37 now.
No, it just hit 39 right now. There's 7:48 left in the second. But no, this just shows you how evenly matched this team truly is.
Right.
And so if you got the best team in the NBA against realistically, the third or fourth best in the Eastern Conference, and they're able to do this, it's like, well, where is really the challenge? Or was it that OKC had that weak of a schedule to have such a good record?
Yeah,
that's a tough thing.
Yeah, because we were saying that before the game started that this would be a pretty even matchup. It wasn't going to be a blowout. Chosen thought it would be a blowout, but neither one of us was like, this is not going to be a blowout. They really don't have an impact, big impact players to be like shooting out the lights the whole game. It's only like one on each side, Halliburton and then SGH, and that's it really. To where you can see that people will shoot the lights out on the team. So
yeah,
it's pretty close.
And that's the big thing right now. Holmgren's got 15. SGA's only got 6 points so far in this first half. He's 2 of 7 shooting, so he's struggling right now. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing that they are keeping up with Holmgren, but that's the big thing that's going to take it. That you have to have someone that can make up those points. I mean, but you have a 12 percentage point difference right now between Indiana and OKC. I mean, they're shooting 53% compared to a 41% actually Indiana is 53, OKC is 41. So that's a big thing. I mean, people, they need to stop shooting so many threes, and that's one thing Indiana is struggling with right now. If they would actually, because they're a 33% shooter right now from 3-point land, and OKC is at 60%. So that's what's kept them closer. But if Indiana starts driving the ball more and settling for those 2-point jumpers instead of shooting for the 3, I really do think this game should be a lot farther out than what it really is.
Yeah, definitely it could be like that because if they last game when they did the first one, a lot of the mid range is what kept them in the game and got that win more than the 3 pointers. Because when they first started with 3 pointers in the first game, they kept missing a lot of them, including Halliburton.
Yeah. The big thing that a lot of people, it hasn't just been Halliburton, obviously on the points. He's only got 5 points on the day. He
Right,
does have 4 assists. McConnell's got 4 assists, but you got Benedict Mathurin, who once again is a name that I've said before on our shows. Benedict Mathurin has got 9 points right now, 4 or 5 shooting, and so he's the actually the backup shooting guard. Siakam's with 9. Obi Toppin, who's coming off the bench, also he's got 6 points. I mean, so they're spreading the ball around, which is what's needed.
right,
It's not a one team. You don't need to worry about shutting down just SGA. They obviously they're doing that. They did it at they aren't doing as well as they should do. I mean, because he's had 38 points for game one, 34. So he's gonna get his points. But I mean, you got to figure something out. And I think they're figuring out right now. Like I said, it's still right now 39-36.
right.
Um, are you still sticking with Indiana in to win it all, or do you think is there something that OKC does to kind of persuade your mind?
So far, I'm still going with Indiana. The OKC hasn't really shown me anything different as far as to where like I think like okay maybe they can pull something out and do something different to make the game look different as it came to it because like they're all so close. So I still feel it could be Pacers in 6 because you had a buzzer beater one game, you only lost by like a little bit in the other one. So it's like it's still real close to where you don't really like see like one team pulling away that much.
Right. And I'm right there with you. Like I said, it's still sitting there. I mean, to me, if if Indiana takes 2 out of 3 in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you sit there and say, hey, all you have to do really if you take 2 out of 3, because it's what is it? Is it 2-3-2 or is it 3-2-2? I think it's 3-2-2.
Yeah, I think 3-2-2. Yeah,
I
right now.
can't. They've changed the way that they schedule this stuff so much. Actually, no, it's um, no, they're playing in Indiana right now. So they split the first one, and now they've got two. Where's game? Yeah, game 4 is in Indiana. Game 5 is back at OKC. Oh, so it's 2-2-1-1-1.
Okay.
I was like, I knew they changed it up, a few years
Yeah.
ago. I couldn't remember the exact order. Um, but yeah, so if you take realistically the next two, if you go up 3-1, there's no way.
Oh,
So you got the next 2 games. You're already split on the road. So I mean, I still think it's gonna go 7, me personally. I would like to see Indiana win it in 6 because that would allow them to have it at their own home court, which would be pretty amazing. But to have 2 teams that never won the NBA championship, I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be pretty good. Um, so, do you think it has a chance though to possibly only go 5? You think Indiana can win the next 3 games?
the only way I see that happening is if Halliburton can get more points and then like maybe get double doubles with assist. Like if he's able to get more assists going to where it's like a 10 assist and like a 30 points or like a 20 assist game or out of nowhere like that, then I can see that happening as far as like them getting it in 5.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they just tied it up right now, so it's 42-42. I mean, still,
yeah,
that's exactly what they need. They need to sit there and find a way to keep it close, and they're showing they have the defense capabilities to do that. So I am pretty impressed with that. But
to see, especially for the Pacers, because that was like this is kind of like the redemption period for that whole franchise because they were supposed to get that with Reggie Miller, and then that fight in the Mouse in the Palace happened. So, and then it was like that's just seemed to be the curse of the team. Like no one could get close anymore after that.
Yeah, and it would have been nice to see Reggie obviously get one of the probably one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, but they're doing what they got to do. Mathurin's already up to 11 points, or so they're just doing what they have to do, and that's what I think is going to make them a contender realistically in the future. Also, I really do think Indiana is one player away from being the dominant team in the Eastern Conference. With Siakam, with Halliburton, it's they have the team, and obviously it shows that they have the bench because if not, they wouldn't be in the NBA Finals, right?
Right.
So, but do you think that OKC can make it again next year?
If they don't they need another player. They need 2 other players. They can't do just SGA to make it next year.
I agree. I think between SGA and Holmgren, I don't think it's enough. I think that realistically, do I think OKC can win an NBA championship? I do. I think they'll get it probably in the next 2-3 years, but they need to add some extra pieces. They do not have the pieces that are needed. They're running too short on the bench. So that's what I'm thinking. Indiana's now up by 5 points. So now it just tied not even a minute ago.
Yeah,
now they're all of a sudden they're up 47-42.
Yeah.
So they're doing what's needed. So hopefully this keeps up. I'd like to see them, it would be nice to have a game 7. I mean, it's what's best for business in the NBA.
Yeah, it's always to get that far into at least a game 6 or game 7 is what everyone wants to keep the games going.
Yeah. So but realistically, if you think about it, I still would have liked to seen the Knicks there. But I got no disrespect towards Indiana because they fought hard this year. They managed to beat Boston during the regular season. And so they were a very dominant team, but they dealt with, some inconsistencies. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can keep doing. But no, what else are you seeing from the NBA? Do you have you seen anything else in the NBA world?
All I saw last week, they were talking about like this game was not actually getting like the last game, not this one, but the game before. The ratings were pretty down when it came for everybody watching it. Because they felt like it was just, I guess, too low. Like it wasn't the teams everybody wanted. Because some people wanted the Knicks, obviously some people wanted the Lakers, some people wanted Boston. But like it came down to the OKC and Pacers, and it was like, okay, I don't really want to watch this one now.
Yeah,
because the teams that we regularly are up to seeing, but that should be a good thing, right? To see other teams finally make it.
Exactly. So we got Sarai, our lovely moderator. She's actually on vacation, which is nice for her, but she's saying go Pacers. I'm like, what are you saying go Pacers? Weren't you one that said, oh, it's going to be OKC in 6? I'm going to give you a little hard time about that one. You kept saying OKC. So, but no, I'm right there with you, Sarai. I will stick with the Pacers. That's who I got. Out of the 2 teams that I got left, I mean, I'll always take Boston over anyone else. But no, that's what we got for tonight's show. We appreciate you guys, everyone that's hopped on here, the comments. Remember to like, subscribe. You can also check out our website. It just got up and going recently, www.sportsloungemedia.com. If you guys have any high school athletes that are looking to get featured, we actually do take time to do showcases, special athletes, that are going to working their way towards college that are in the program. We would love to be able to feature them. We usually do that on the last Wednesday of every month, especially going into this upcoming football season. We do have one that's going to be kind coming up here in July. Oh, Sarai. Okay, she says I changed my mind.
Yeah.
You know,
You change,
yeah.
change
But
back
no,
again.
yeah. But no, hey, so we are, like I said, we are going to be showcasing a few high school athletes that are looking into playing college football. We've had a couple that have been on here. We've had Braden Walton, who is actually currently a offensive guard at Fresno State. We've got Alexa Perryman, who actually is a girls basketball player. She's a point guard that came out of San Joaquin Memorial, and she will going to Fresno Pacific. We do have a few other that we are looking into having here on the show. So look for those, and also look for every other show that we have on. We do also have down South Philly show. We have Sports with Sunshine. We've got the Eagles Nest. We've got the Marshall and Spirkson, and we just posted it yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. SLM Bets, Sports Lounge Media Bets.
They're
So
coming.
that means you are going to be able to get help from the one and only John Hamilton. He is going to take his time to go over what teams to pick on Sports Lounge Media Bets. Those shows are going to be coming here soon, within the next probably 4 to 6 weeks. Obviously, it's going to be going right before season goes, but he's going to be able to help with your parlay picks. He does have low risk, medium risk, high risk, so you can always take those. But hey, don't forget to look out for SLM Bets with John Hamilton, of course, and check out each one of our other shows. And so, again, we want to thank our sponsors, and we hope you all have a blessed evening. And thank you all. So have a good night.
Peace. Have a good night, guys.